Okay, guys, Splatoon 3 first impressions time. If you're new here, I'm Dead Metal and Dead Metal Media, the biggest Splatoon fan on the face of the earth. I just love those little inklings, and I love my PG multiplayer shooter battle arena games. I'm so glad Nintendo chose to get into the market, and I can tell you that Nintendo actually cares, because they advanced me a review copy of Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch, the best video game system ever made, and I am not going to make my people wait. What did I, Dead Metal, Splatoon aficionado, Splatoon endorser, Splatoon fanatic, think of Splatoon 3? Splatoon 3 absolutely sucks! I mean, you want to talk about the biggest embarrassment to the gaming community at large. Every single one of us is actively worse for wear because a game called Splatoon by a company who should have folded 20 years ago, Nintendo, has somehow managed to shit out its third installment. That's right, we've had a trilogy of these ridiculously over-the-top for ages 3 to 6 bullshit multiplayer shooter games. And here's the thing, when you're in the mood for a shooter, what are you more likely to reach for? Fucking Call of Duty, the greatest game ever made, where you can pop some motherfuckers' heads like a watermelon, where you can call in tactical strikes that fucking blow limbs off, where you can take accurate era weaponry and fucking mow down the opposition with reckless abandon? Or maybe you're more of a Battlefield guy, where you go in there, you have the vehicles, you can fucking run people down as they step into your fucking lane. Fucking call in the bomb strike and literally bring a building down on top of a motherfucker. We're talking next level combat in a video game. Now, are you more likely to reach for those two hard-hitting fucking examples, or are you gonna reach for this child-pandering preschool-level entertainment known as Splatoon, where the goal isn't even to blow motherfuckers up? You don't even get to shoot motherfuckers in the head. You don't even get a real gun. You have a paintball gun, a paint gun. You're shooting paint, trying to cover the floor with more paint than this dumbass over here on the other team, and he can paint over your paint. It's like... Now, this is the type of shit that your religious, conservative mommy and daddy are gonna buy little Jimmy. Little Jimmy's over here hearing at school how fucking awesome these online multiplayer shooter games are, and he wants to get in on the Call of Duty. He wants to get in on the Battlefield, but Christian conservative mommy and daddy wearing fucking flannel to their dinner at night with the family, fucking so repressed they can't mention the word sex without their face blushing red. Mommy's into some freaky shit. She wants daddy to tie her up and fucking throw on some latex, but she's too afraid of his judgment. They're not gonna buy their kid Call of Duty, the greatest shooting game ever made, the greatest video game ever made, period. That's a fact, not an opinion. They're gonna go get them Splatoon, because Splatoon is a kid-friendly shooter. Now, there are two things in that sentence that do not work together. They simply do not mix well. Kid-friendly and shooter. I mean, what an absolute fucking joke. As much shit as I give Fortnite for its bullshit cartoony aesthetic and very lackluster surface level gameplay, at the very fucking least, you can take a shotgun or a rifle and you can blow a motherfucker in the head. You're not going to see all the gore and you're not going to see a shower of limbs and you can't call in a tactical nuke and commit fucking genocide on the opposition, but at least you get that satisfying pull where you can pulverize some buckshot into a motherfucker's chest, right? You at least get that. Not in Splatoon. Not in Splatoon. The most satisfying thing in Splatoon is turning the system off because nobody should be subject to this level of bullshit. Nobody should be subject to this level of garbage. Nobody should be subject to this game, period. I don't care if you're 3 years old or 300 years old. All right? Listen, I'm a father myself. I have sired many children throughout the lands. Dead Metal was a bit of a gigolo back in the day, and condoms are for pussies. All right? Let's call it what it is. And among my many children, I have never not allowed them to start their video game adventure with Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the perfect game for all ages. It's age appropriate, especially the online lobbies. The online lobbies in Splatoon are watered down PG bullshit because you got to use your fucking cell phone. There's nobody that goes through that effort. And the fucking fat ass neckbeard 12-year-olds that do go through that effort, they're not even focused on the game. They're focused on shoving fucking Hot Pockets that just came out of the oven that mommy brought them down to the basement, down their fucking cocksucker, putting on another 20 pounds so they can bump up another size in fucking jeans. Splatoon is garbage. It's always been garbage, even back on the Wii U. I played the original Splatoon. I thought, a new IP from Nintendo. But they proved to me one single solitary fact that I was in denial of at the time, but now I realize true and full to be an absolute, undisputable, irrefutable, sad fact of the world. Nintendo relies on old-ass, antiquated franchises to hold them up. Their new IPs fold. ARMS, massive flop. Massive failure, didn't get a sequel. Splatoon, they invested too much money into it. The online lobbies are dead in Splatoon, Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 3, but they're not giving up. Nintendo, this is like the doctor, you know, when you bring in a patient who's just been in a horrible wreck, and they're in the emergency room and everybody's frantic and they're like, doctor, get over here. And the doctor's like, he's cold. He's been dead 5-10 fucking minutes. What are you doing over here? And you got that one dedicated fucking new guy, that one fucking dedicated resident who's just starting his journey. And he's like, no, I could save him. And they break out the fucking chest paddles and they're trying to revive him. They're fucking kissing the blue lips, blowing fucking air into the lungs that are no longer inflating. Just so desperate to bring life into something that's dead. That is what Nintendo is doing with Splatoon. They should have cut it off at its head. Splatoon came and went. Nobody cared. Splatoon 2, they tried to shit out a sequel. Oh, it was just the Wii U. The Wii U wasn't popular, so nobody got to see the amazingness of Splatoon. Splatoon 2 came and went faster than a wet fart. Splatoon 2... nobody plays. Splatoon 2, nobody cares about. Splatoon 2 was literal dog shit. D-grade effort. They knew they were just skating by. They just wanted to pass, so they shat it out. And now they've decided to milk even more money out of you sad, morose motherfuckers lining up and jacking off to Splatoon 3. Well, I got news for you. Splatoon 3 is the worst of the trilogy because you idiots have fallen in line like the docile sheep that you are, and you've been forking over money. You've been forking over money for Splatoon. Let's see, you spent $60 on Splatoon back on the Wii U. You played $60 for Splatoon 2 because you had to support the sequel, and now you've paid $60 for Splatoon 3 because you've deluded and convinced yourself that this game is worth purchasing. Spoiler, it's not. And spoiler to the spoiler, you know it's not worth purchasing, but you're $180 in. You're balls deep in Splatoon, a very bare bones, surface level, multiplayer, quote unquote, shooter game in which you simply cannot shoot anybody. Now that is the punchline to the joke that Nintendo's been pulling over your eyes and making you the bottom line, the bottom dollar, and the actual punchline to since 2014, you sad, pathetic, inkling, nipple-sucking losers. Go jack off to some hentai and try to make something of your life. You clearly fall for every single financial scam there is, so hey, you know what? I've got some NFTs to sell you.